Hey guys, how's it going? It's Josh back again with another movie review, and today I'm going to be reviewing Halloween Ends. Halloween Ends is a slasher horror film and is a sequel to Halloween Kills, which was a sequel itself to Halloween back in 2018. These three movies are the new trilogy that comes right after the first movie, Halloween, from 1978. This film stars Jamie Lee Curtis returning as Laurie Strode, as well as Andy Matichak and Rowan Campbell. And let's just jump right into the things that I liked in this movie. Now, to start things off, and I guess to cap things off with the things that I liked, the opening of this movie is fantastic. It is intense. It'll immediately get your blood pumping, as well as the fact that John Carpenter's soundtrack cuts right in with his own little, the piano thing, and they use the font from Halloween 3. Like, there are a ton of things that just make the intro really well done without spoiling it. One of the better parts of this movie, and one of the things that'll keep you appreciating it, is Jamie Lee Curtis's performance as Laurie Strode. Outside of that, however, any other positives I would have just come from the fact that this is an improvement over Kills. For example, I think the shot composition and the cinematography, as well as the color palette, is so much better in this film. It feels like we're going back to the 2018 film in terms of how just serious the film and the situation and the characters that are involved feel. However, everything else is relatively the same from Kills. Without going into spoilers, this takes place 4 years after Halloween Kills. Laurie is still dealing with the consequences of that night, but Michael Myers has disappeared. When we first see Michael Myers in this movie, it appears that he is in a weakened state, in hiding, away from the public for whatever reason, and they show a scene in which he kills someone, and it seems like he's building his power back up again. Now, the confusing part is he's disappeared for a couple years. There has still been murders and disappearances that I guess you could attribute to something else, but if Michael Myers has been missing, and the reason why he's weaker is because he hasn't been killing people, why doesn't he just start killing people again? It feels like as if they wanted to do an explanation for his character, who he is and what he represents and what his moral standing is, but they just never touched on it in the rest of these movies. So when you see Michael in this state, it's a bit jarring. It's kind of just like, oh, okay, I guess they're going to finally explain how, despite the fact that he's a much older man, he is still incredibly limber, strong, durable enough to take bullets and stabbings. They could just explain he's fueled by something, a demon or whatever, any explanation, but they don't really give one. In fact, you get more questions in this movie because there's an introduction of this new protagonist of Corey Cunningham at the beginning of this film. Now, I know I said that the opening intro of this film is well done, and it is, but the character of Corey is mishandled throughout the entire film, right, literally just after that. Corey is introduced in this movie, has a complete arc, and it is ended in this movie. To me, this film would feel much more organic and less bloated if the Corey character was introduced at least in the second movie. Having this new character with this new character arc be introduced in this third movie comes from the fact that it's clear that this franchise doesn't have any supporting characters that they've introduced, at least in this trilogy, that has survived long enough to also have their own conflict and character development take place. Something just happens very early on in this movie that just goes without explanation, and we're just supposed to go along with it because of certain aspects of dialogue that characters have said in previous movies about Michael Myers just being a force of nature and we don't understand him. Yeah, it doesn't seem like the writers understand him either, to be honest. This causes the ending scene in particular to just feel unearned. This trilogy, or this franchise of all franchises, with the way that the writers and such discussed it, they wouldn't be making the same mistakes that other horror movies of the previous decades have made. But here we are in a movie that has a whole bunch of half-baked ideas, but with some really cool kills, an improvement over its predecessor, and a great opening and ending scene, or a montage I should say. But everything outside of that was incredibly mid, incredibly bloated, and incredibly disappointing. Overall, I would have to give this movie a 4 out of 10. It's an improvement over Kills. It's not as good as the first one, and it is nowhere near as good as the original. If you enjoyed this review, please like, share, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you thought about the movie. And if you have anything else that you're interested in, you can catch me on Twitch at twitch.com/outlawbebop_. And I will see y'all in the next video. Bye-bye.